Chiefs rookie wide receiver Xavier Worthy can wreck the Bills defense, and we're going to talk about it. Woo-hoo! Good morning, Chiefs Kingdom, baby. It's getting closer and closer to this AFC Championship matchup with the Buffalo Bills. Can't wait to put belt to ass in Kansas City against the Buffalo Bills. Mike, before we get started, let them know who's powering this live stream.
This live stream is powered by BetUS. Head over to betus.com. Check out what they have going on right now. If you use the code YouTube150, you're going to get 150% deposit match bonus on your first deposit. And then on your next two, you're going to get 125% deposit match bonuses. Those are up to $2,000, so take advantage of all those free plays. The site's easy to use. There's plenty of props on there. Go to betus.com. Use promo code YouTube150. Let them know All Chiefed Up sent you their way, Steve. 150% sign-up bonus, baby. That's what we want.
Do it.
We're going to put all of our money down on the Bills because it's rigged. Hey, isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that all these Bills fans in the league worldwide, it's rigged, but then they're betting on the Bills. You don't believe in your heart of hearts.
You're lying.
Rigged if you're putting you're not putting your money where your mouth with your mouth. Blah, blah, blah. Your money where your mouth is.
Mouth it. There you go. You got this. Yeah, but that really doesn't. I didn't even think about that. But that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. That's dumb. But Mike, we're going to talk a little bit about Xavier Worthy. Why are we going to talk about him? Because he can beat that Bills ass. That's why we're going to talk about him. But real quick, before we do that, guys, appreciate you being here. Do us a favor, hit that like button real quick. Help us get out to more people. If you're watching on X or Facebook or whatever, just share it with your friends and family or your followers if you're cool like that. Mike, Xavier Worthy, he had one drive against Buffalo in the regular season, and he had 4 receptions for 61 yards and a touchdown. And then they said, you know what? Go take a nap for the rest of the day, son. We're not going to throw you the ball.
Wait, they really didn't use him the rest of the half? I felt like in my mind they used him in the half and then didn't use him in the second half.
No, it's literally like the first drive, dude.
Yeah,
they had no answer for him. None. They still don't. They still don't, Michael.
Right. It was the X show. Look, the Buffalo Bills defense is averaging a lot of points over the last few games. They are not playing at peak performance right now. The Chiefs defense is actually playing at a much a better defensive points per game average. I want to say our points per game average is somewhere around like 15-ish, and theirs is closer to 30. So
right.
We should be able to just eat. I think that the big matchup here, and like you said, we'll stick with Xavier Worthy, X, baby. I think they'll use Xavier Worthy, but Xavier Worthy could be a very big decoy this matchup in a way to where they could get him the ball early and often. That's fine. They could go back and do that. But I believe his speed now and the way he finally understands the offense, because it's night and day difference how much offense he now understands over the last time we played the Bills. This is going to open up the middle of the field again. I still think Travis Kelce is going to eat. The first time it was kind of held under, he was held in check. He had like 2 catches for like 3 yards or something. I think this time with Hollywood coming back, X learning the playbook, knowing the playbook, I really do think it's going to be a Pat and Kelce show. I mean, come on, it just seems natural, doesn't it?
Well, it's the playoffs. It's time for Travis Kelce to do what Travis Kelce does. Mike, we talked about the Buffalo Bills defense a little bit the other day on a live stream.
Yeah.
And their passing defense, Mike, their passing defense, it's not great. It's not great. They're bottom half. They don't have a great secondary. And I think you saw that in the first game. But for some reason, there just wasn't a whole lot of chemistry. There's so many players that we didn't have either, Yeah. A lot of different things going on. But either way, they don't have the greatest secondary. I'm with you. Patrick Mahomes, get with Kelce early and often. Get with him early and often. And then they have to worry about DeAndre Hopkins. They have to worry about Hollywood Brown now. We didn't have him the first go-round.
Right.
That leaves a little guy named Xavier Worthy that can run a 4.240. Same with Hollywood Brown. They can cause them fits, man. That secondary is not great. Like I said, they're bottom half of the league. And there's just so much speed on the field. And I think what it comes down to is just getting the ball to these guys quick.
Yeah.
Okay, like get the ball in their hands. Don't run around in the pocket and just look for the big play all the time. Don't give the Bills any chance of putting pressure on you or getting sacks, turnovers. Just get the ball in the hands of these guys. Xavier Worthy could have a massive day. We saw what he could do to this defense on the first drive of the first time they played each other. I'm not sure why Andy went away from it. I'm not sure if I went back and watched the tape, I don't remember, but maybe they just focused in on him more on defense. But I mean, if that's the case now, what about Hollywood or DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce? I mean, there's just so much that the Chiefs can do, and I think Xavier Worthy is going to be a big piece of that, because not only can he create with the ball in his hands because of his speed, and they can also use him in the gadget he plays, but he can also chunk off a huge gain at one time. The minute the Bills get lulled to sleep with a decent Kareem Hunt run game, they could really blow over the top of that defense with Xavier Worthy. So, especially with everybody else focused on Kelce and D-Hop and all that.
Yeah. Look, Xavier Worthy, he had a big game. I do think he's primed for another big one. Over his last few games he's played, going all the way back to week 14, he's not hit 49.5 receiving yards. That's been his over-unders, like 49.5, right at that 50-yard mark. He was under versus the Chargers in week 14. He was under versus Cleveland in week 15. He was over week 16, over week 17, then back to the playoff game last week. He was under it again. So 3 out of 5 games, he's averaging less than 49.5 yards per game. So he's due for a breakout game, in my opinion. I think Xavier Worthy is due to have a big explosive game. As you mentioned, the last time he played the Bills, he got a lot of good matchups. He done a lot of things. He won in coverage versus Johnson and Rasul Douglas and different things. I even think he was matched up on Christian Benford one time, or Benford, and it's just, if you give him those matchups, he should take advantage of it. That's all I'm going to say. I really do believe that Xavier Worthy is primed for a breakout. He's just too explosive, Steve. We've seen it. This kid, when he was first drafted, a lot of people didn't love it. I don't even think we loved it that much. Like, to me, it just felt so obvious that it felt like it could be wrong. And you sort of had flashbacks of, say, Felix Anudike the year before. That one almost felt so obvious because it was the hometown kid that it just didn't know if it was going to pan out properly.
We also knew that they were going to draft Sky Moore. Like, look at this kid. That's who they're going to draft.
Yeah, like we knew that was going to happen.
You kind of fall into that trap with the Chiefs where it's like, oh, that receiver, that's who they're going to take, right? Like, he's the fast one. That's who they're going to take.
Right. It always feels like that. So, like, the Xavier Worthy thing kind of felt like, please don't let that be that one. But the more you watched him on film, you do realize that he did offer more than just straight line speed. Like, the kid was a football player. He was good on special teams. He caught the ball at a high rate, even playing through a broken hand in college. He was very selfless. You've seen that this year. A lot of people said, he can't get off press. He can't take hits. He's disproved every bit of that this year to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Last week versus Houston, I mean, the kid put up big numbers across the board offensively, receiving grades for PFF. I mean, it wasn't astronomical, but for a rookie in his first playoff game, they were in the 60s. He had 6 targets, 5 catches, 45 yards. So he was right there on the cusp of being able to get that breakout game. So I'm just saying, if you can get the ball in his hand 5-6 times this time, and maybe you can catch him going over the top, it would not surprise me if Xavier Worthy didn't break that 75, maybe even 100 receiving yard mark and maybe get in the end zone this week. I feel like he's due for a breakout. I really do.
Absolutely. I mean, he's progressed all season long. And like you were talking, there's a lot more to his game than just speed. And you can say that now more than ever. I think just by watching Xavier Worthy mature over his rookie season, he's night and day from the tape we watched in Texas. Like, the kid's already getting better, and he's being mentored by DeAndre Hopkins. He kind of took him under his wing the minute he came to Kansas City. Just started hanging out with Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy even said he bugged him, picked his brain. That's the kind of stuff that we were hoping would happen with the DeAndre Hopkins in Kansas City. We talked about that last year. Like, if we could get this guy, maybe he could help out Rashee Rice or whoever. Well, this year it kind of worked out that way, and now Xavier Worthy is kind of reaping the benefits of that one. And I think you're seeing him get better and better. And what better game to have your biggest game than the AFC Championship game at Arrowhead against the Buffalo Bills. I think you're right. He's primed and due for a huge game. And when you're playing a mediocre defense that has a lot to focus on, you have a good chance. You have a good chance because I highly doubt that in the Bills' game plan, in the defensive game plan, they're going to talk about Travis Kelce. What did they do the first game? They focused in on him so much. He had like what, 2 receptions, and then they're also okay. Well, we also have to worry about DeAndre Hopkins, right? You have to game plan a little bit for D Hop. If you're not, that Hall of Famer is going to kick your ass, right? So it's like, I highly doubt they're going in there and they're like, we really have to focus on this Xavier Worthy kid or he's going to absolutely destroy us. Not saying that that's not a valid point, but they have a lot of other stuff to worry about, Mike.
Yeah, I agree. When you look into, so I was looking last week and I was like, why did the offense feel so weird in Houston? Like, why did it feel weird? We thought they were going to come out and we thought it was going to look, we thought it was going to be a building block on what you've seen versus Houston the first time, what you've seen versus Pittsburgh. Of course, we said our starters versus Denver. That was weird. You couldn't really get anything out of that game. But you felt like it was going to be a building block, and you thought that game last week was going to be kind of like this eye-opening, like awakening of an offense, and you just didn't see that. So I went back and looked, and I really do believe it revolved around Xavier Worthy. There's something within that Houston Texans defense that Matt Nagy and Andy Reid and Joe Blymeyer, every one of those guys across the board, they see something in that Texans defense, something with a matchup thing that they thought they had with Xavier Worthy, and I think that was over everyone. But it had to do with Xavier Worthy playing from the slot. Versus Houston all year long, we played them twice. In Week 16, Xavier Worthy had 26 slot snaps out of 38 receiving snaps. So he was more than 2-to-1 versus slot to out wide. He had never done that all season long. He had ran the majority of his stuff from the outside, not the slot. And so he drops into the slot versus Houston. 17 and 18, he goes back, he plays the majority of his stuff out wide versus Pittsburgh, has a decent game. Denver, he sit. Okay. Houston comes back. He plays again. The second most he's ever played in the slot was against Houston the second time. It was 19 to the slot to 10 out wide. So for some reason, there was some kind of weird matchup deal where they wanted to put Xavier Worthy in the slot versus Houston, and they did this against no other team, in my opinion. So for a rookie in general, to get really comfortable running these route concepts and stuff out wide and then moving you into the slot for 2 specific games, it didn't work out as well as you thought it was going to, right? Like, it just didn't. He panned out for 45 and 65 yards. Very respectable. Like, I give him credit for it. Very respectable. He even had a touchdown in the first game.
Right.
I think it may have been a running touchdown, though. I'm not for sure. I don't remember. No. I think Patrick Mahomes actually hit him in the flats. That was that little pass to the flats. But, yeah, it's one of those things where I think that was what it was. It was – I want to say he was out of position, but he wasn't. But it just feels like he was out of position because he didn't play the majority. So I think that shifted the entire offense, because you even heard Nagy say that yesterday in his presser. He said that they did not limit D-Hop by design. So there was something within the scheme of the defense yesterday. There was something with the scheme of the defense versus the Texans that just kind of put a little bit of a kink in the Chiefs, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't execute what they wanted to, I don't think, and I don't think it was all just Andy holding stuff back, which is very possible, but I also think the Texans just actually played good defense. I think they just had a really good defense.
Well, they did, and of course it was overhyped. It was overhyped, wasn't it? Were they the 85 Bears like they were made out to be?
In my opinion, I think their pass rush was legit. I think their corners were a little overhyped. I believe Mahomes could have taken advantage of more. Like, you cannot tell me that Kamari Lassiter shut down somebody all day long.
The good thing is we're not playing the Texans again. We're playing the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
And this defense is not as good as the Texans defense. Like I said, they're bottom quarter of the league in pass defense. Something else, Mike, that really kind of catches my eye when I start digging into the stuff. They're not a good red zone defense either. They're bottom half of the league in red zone defense. But what they really, really, really struggle with is third down defense. And let's talk about this for a second because we're very familiar with that problem.
Oh yeah, we stink with third down.
The Kansas City
defense.
Chiefs, we see it every week. It's like they just cannot stop third down. We can't get a 3 and out to save our lives. And we see it over and over again. And as much as we see it, and as much as we're sick of it, and we talk about it as a talking point for the Chiefs, Buffalo's 3 spots lower than the Chiefs in third down defense. So this is an opportunity for the Kansas City Chiefs to control the game, control time of possession, really just set the pace, set the tone. I mean, just do it early. I think you have to see a lot of Kareem Hunt, and like we said, I think Xavier Worthy could have a huge day, and they might use him early, just like they did last time. I mean, why not? Why not?
Yeah, it's very possible there. Looking at Buffalo too, they've got some good edge rushers. Don't get me wrong. They've got Greg Rousseau. They've got Von Miller. They got some guys that can get after it. They got Ed Oliver. They drafted him out of Houston a few years ago. Javon Solomon. Just some guys they've got. It's nothing like special in my mind, like with the pass rushers. I feel like Houston's pass rush was a lot better, was a lot more, I want to say they were more like explosive, I guess is the term, in my opinion. Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, if you look through the entire season, they had 74 pressures and 60 pressures, respectively. Danielle Hunter at 74 and Will Anderson at 60 on the entire season. Derek Barnett would have been their next guy up, or Danico Autry at actually, no, I think Tim Settle was their third guy. He actually had 43, and then Danico Autry would have come in at fourth. So 60 and 74. Buffalo, the closest ones they have to that is Greg Rousseau at 69. So he didn't quite get there, and then the other guy at 60 would have been Ed Oliver. So you go from Rousseau to Oliver, which is not 2 defensive ends. Now, don't get me wrong. Von Miller, he's getting older. He'll turn it on when it counts. I think Von Miller may be a hair in your biscuit.
He's good for.
He may be a guy.
He's good for a few good plays a game.
Right. I don't think you can write off Von Miller, but
No.
I just don't think you can look at Von Miller and Greg Rousseau as a more of a pass rush threat than Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, in my opinion. And especially if you look at Stingley on the back end, the Bills got Christian Benford, and I mean, what's their others? Kyer Elam, who kind of gets burned a lot, and I just
Right.
Taron Johnson, he's not, I wouldn't consider him a top tier in my opinion.
While you're talking about these guys, Mike, while you're talking about them, 12 minutes ago, the Bills ruled out Taylor Rapp. He's not playing.
Yeah, that makes sense. He was
Safety
kind of
Taylor
on the
Rapp's
injury
not
report all
playing.
week.
Christian Benford is not practicing Friday due to a personal matter. He remains a concussion protocol, but they say he
will
practices on
probably end up
Thursday.
playing,
And then
opinion.
linebacker Matt Milano and cornerback Taron Johnson are full participants on Friday.
Yeah, Milano was dealing with a hammy. Now, look, the hammy injuries are just a fickle beast, okay? He could be completely fine. He could go out there on the first play and make a weird movement, and he could be on the sideline the rest of the game. We've seen that time and time again. So you don't want a coverage kind of linebacker dealing with a hammy. You just don't want that. That's not good. I think you can take advantage of that a little bit. Like you said, Taylor Rapp is now out. I don't know who they'll have to replace him on the back end. I would say probably Kareem Jackson, Cam Lewis, Mike Edwards. I mean, you've got all those guys on the back end. Of course, DeMar Hamlin, he actually probably going to win Comeback Player of the Year. They got Cole Bishop. They drafted Cole Bishop out of Utah last year. So they've got some serviceable guys back there. But again, I think Taylor Rapp's a decent loss. And Milano coming on with that like little hammy issue could be bigger than you think it is. Like that could rear its head.
But
in the game.
players are never as injured against the Chiefs as you think they might be.
Yeah,
At this point, they ruled Taylor Rapp out, but they might just.
he may make a miraculous comeback.
Yeah, you might see him anyway. You never really know. Hey, Mike, let's get to the chat for just a second. Shout out SSG Minotaur, been a member for 5 months now. Says, anyone else see D-Hop teachings take effect on Worthy these last few games? He's starting to attack the ball with his hands. It's making a difference. Absolutely. That catch that Xavier Worthy made against the Texans was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it was. Nice.
It was.
It was
And that's
just body control. It was everything that you wanted out of a receiver. He went and he snatched the ball out of the air. That's what you want.
right, absolutely. But yeah, we're seeing it. We're seeing it, and I think it's like we mentioned earlier, it's just a great thing that he's been able to take Xavier Worthy under his wing and really kind of show him a thing or two, and it's showing. It's showing in his game. Hear ye, hear ye! Bryant Williamson with a 2-bomb says, "I'll kick it off here." He's horned. Mike, everybody should be horned. It's AFC Championship weekend.
Yeah, if this is prime horny time. Like if you're
It
not
is.
here, you're not in the game. Like it doesn't get
If
bigger
you're
than
not
this.
horned, you might need to subscribe to Blue Chew.
It gets bigger than this one other time of the year, and that's just the game after this. Okay, so I
Right.
mean, you're at your peak horniness.
You have
I
to
know, you know, Puka Nakua would pass out right now if he were on the Chiefs. Like we know that would happen.
Man, you
So
have
we
to
all
be
need
pumped.
to get to that level.
You have to be pumped. Flapjack with the 2 bomb says, "Screw it, we blitz every third down." That's true. I mean, that's the thing. It's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? People know when Spags needs to get something done or when they need to make a stop, he's bringing the pressure, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of a double-edged sword because you got to figure out where's that pressure going to come from. How do we stop it? But you also know they know that going into that play, like, hey, they're bringing pressure, like it's coming. So we got to get this ball away quick. So sometimes it can be a detriment, but I don't know if that's exactly why our third down defense isn't great. I feel like just the middle of the field is always soft. Like I don't know if we play too much zone or like what's going on this season, but that middle of the field is just always wide open for players. And I think that's why tight ends had such a field day with the Chiefs this year. And I think that's something else that the Chiefs are going to have to focus on in this game. I think Dalton Kincaid's somebody that you got to watch, right?
Yeah. The Chiefs went crazy versus the Texans in the game with blitz rate. Steve Spagnuolo, he sent a blitz-heavy game, a game plan out there, and they executed it. The Chiefs actually generated pressure on 73.3% of their blitzes.
It was
versus
crazy,
Houston.
dude.
That's the highest by any team this season that had blitzed 15-plus times in a game. So we were very effective. A lot of that could be C.J. Stroud didn't have anywhere to go with the ball very quickly. You got to think about it. C.J. Stroud was some of his bigger receivers that he would rely on were not really playing. Nico Collins is not a guy that's going to get off the line and overwhelm you very quickly. He is a big guy that's going to win a battle down the field. In my
He's
opinion,
still a
more.
top wide receiver in the league.
Right, but I mean, you've got Trent McDuffie out there, and he's pretty top. And then you've got Jalen Watson now, who I believe they're going to take the reins off. You heard Spags yesterday say that, hey, we tried to ease him in. The dude still
I'm
played
glad they did.
25, 30 defensive snaps. So I think this week he's very much ready to go.
It makes me happy that they did get him back last week because a lot of people thought maybe it's too soon or they wouldn't be able to do that. I think it's an excellent thing that they were able to get him back. It wasn't a detriment to us whatsoever. He played well, and now he's ready to go for the AFC Championship game. So we have all that depth at corner. So
Right. Well, back to the point of Spags blitzing, they allowed take out the Broncos game. When we had the second highest conversion rate given up on third down last week than we had all season. The second highest. We allowed 58.8% on third down.
I struggled with
You
it.
can't have that. You want to know what the first highest game we had this season? It was the Bills in week 11. They converted 60%. You cannot let Josh Allen have easy throws, bailout throws in the middle of the field to a wide open Khalil Shakur, whoever he's going to throw it to. You cannot do it. The Chiefs have to secure that. And coming off of a blitz-heavy game in which we give up the second most all season, that is not good. Like if you were if you're playing the stock market, that's not trending in the right direction. So you maybe need to focus on that this week. I think Spags will. But is it a blitz problem? Is it a zone versus man problem? Is it a personnel problem? Could it be that, say, Nick Bolton left in coverage is not an ideal guy? Could it be that Drew Tranquil just isn't playing very well in his coverages, or maybe the safeties are getting beat too often? I honestly believe it's the safeties. That's where I would go with it. I think the safeties get beat too much man to man.
I tell you what,
They're just not great in that position.
It's I don't want to call out the guy by name, but I think I know who it is. But I think if you see more Jaden Hicks, I think you'll have a better chance.
Yeah, I know you're trying to call out without calling him
But
out.
I mean, I don't want to because I like he's a good player. But I do think that's a problem there. But either way, we got a 2-bomb from Baka87 says Josh Allen is 0-3 in road playoff games. 0-3. You think we can just keep him completely suck ass on the road? You think it can happen?
I mean, I don't see
we talked
why
about
it
that
should
the other
be
day,
different.
Mike. How come Josh Allen always has the best game of his career every time he plays the Chiefs? Why is he always perfect? Like, he's near perfect in every game we play them.
Except
So,
for
like,
playoff games. So there you go.
Well, even in the playoff games, man, like a 13-second game, he couldn't have played any better.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
It's
but
insane. So it's
that
like,
may have been his best game he ever played against
when's
us in the
when's
playoffs.
this cat going to show up and have one of his bullshit days against the Chiefs? Come out and throw 3 picks. Mike, they didn't turn the ball over hardly all year. And that's been a talking point throughout sports media all week is the Bills don't turn the ball over. And
I hope
they
they
can win the
announcer
turnover
jinx on
battle.
them. Let's be completely honest with that one. I hope they're putting the
Josh
announcer
Allen
jinx.
has been known to be a turnover machine since he
Exactly.
came into the league. That's been the one thing that really sets Josh Allen back. We all know he has a good arm. He can run the ball. Like, we know he's good, but he's always been a turnover machine. Now, all of a sudden, this year, he's Mr. Play It Safe, apparently. I don't know how long that's going to hold up. This game could be one where the Chiefs could really put some pressure on him. I know that their offensive line's a step up from
Why
the
does
Texans.
Josh Allen? Let's think about this though. The Bills this year have kind of been the AFC's version of the Panthers from the NFC, or not the Panthers, the Lions. I'm sorry, that's my wrong cat. The
Damn,
Lions.
son.
So they're out here and they're winning a lot of games where it's
Talking
high
trash.
scoring and it's not necessarily shootout games. Like they've won some big games in blowout fashion. Josh Allen has never really had a reason to take tons and tons and tons of chances this year, in my opinion. He just hasn't. The game's flowed to him. He stayed within the game. They've been ahead a lot. They've put up a lot of points. There it is. If the Chiefs want to force some turnovers and want to force Josh Allen out of his comfort zone, they must start hot and put some points on the board. This
Yeah,
cannot
absolutely.
be a game where we come out and we struggle to get our offense going. We struggle and we're constantly sending Butker out there in situations. We're running cute little stupid plays in the red zone and giving up penalties with Jawan Taylor in the red zone. You cannot do it. You must score. If they could come out and put maybe 10 points in between the two teams, and even 10 points is probably not enough. I don't think Josh Allen panics over 10 points. Like, I just don't think he does. But let's say they can get 10 points, and then you get the ball back at the end of the half, and you get a Butker field goal, and you're up 13 going into halftime, and then you come out and you pressure in the second half, and you score right off the rip in the second half, and you can get up maybe 16-20. I think if you can find that little range right there of like just above 2 scores, and that's so hard to do, but if you can find that just above 2 scores, like that 14-17 mark, I believe that's when Josh Allen kind of comes out of his comfort zone. He will panic. He will press, and that's when you can start forcing some turnovers on him. And I think that's how the Chiefs could actually maybe get this into a blowout scenario if you do it properly. And I'm not calling for the blowout scenario, but I'm saying if that's how you get it, that has to be how you do it. Josh Allen's going to have to help you within the blowout scenario. They're going to have to turn the ball over.
Well, points on the board is the
defense will
name
have
of the
to do
game.
something.
Of course, we want the team to score a lot of points, but we've talked about how if they score 30, which they haven't really all season, but if they score 30-plus points,
Yeah, that 30's been
it's
a
going to be
magical
very,
mark.
very hard for the Bills to win. With our defense, it's going to be damn hard for them to win. And I know the Bills can put up a lot of points when they're hot and they're going. They've been a good offense all year. But our defense is a little bit of a different story.
It will not be tough for Buffalo to put up 30 points, though, if we blitz this amount and can't get to Josh Allen, or we allow Josh Allen to convert at a 60% third down rate. That's
Right.
what I'm trying to say. If you allow that across the board, if our blitz isn't getting home and Josh Allen is 30% on or 60% on third down, it's very possible they can throw up 24, 27, 30 points. Like, that is not out of the realm of possibility. That's a good offense. So
Right.
the defense
But
has
they
to
put
come
up
to play.
30 on us the first time.
Right.
But
the
either
defense
way,
definitely has to come to play, but the offense has to score. The offense at some point this year has to hold up their end of the deal. You can't always just make the offense or the defense be like, you guys put up 21 points this week. You guys look like failures because we lost 24-21. You can't do that. Like, the offense at some point has to put up.
yeah, for sure. I
You
mean,
were, you
I
were
would like
shell-shocked about that. You were like, that gun.
I was just so I would like to see, like, we haven't seen all year, I feel like, but I'm sure we have if you go back and look at it. But we've not seen like a big point total in the first half. Like, how many times back in the day we used to have 21, 24 points going into halftime? This year we're lucky to get that in a game. I'm with you. I think the Chiefs need to score early. They need to, this offense needs to be firing early, because you get out into a lead and then you can kind of control the pace of the game. And like you said, put pressure on Josh Allen at that point. That's when he could turn into himself. That's when he could start looking like Josh Allen. I think this year it's just not been like, of course they've played some good games. They've played good football, but at the same time, they've also won in a lot of blowout scenarios. Like you said, they're kind of like the Lions in that aspect, where they're used to winning big. So I think an early lead would do the Chiefs some good. KC Lion Squad with the 2 bombs says Noah found success in the first game. He could be a key. Absolutely, they were trying to shut down Kelsey. I think at that point we didn't have Hollywood Brown there, and we were using a lot of the 12 personnel then. I think Noah had 2 touchdowns in the first game against the Bills. So he could definitely be a piece as well. Alexis from Texas with the 5 bomb. Let's go. She says, happy Red Friday, fellas. Love listening to y'all. 5 for creeping on 5. Chiefs Kingdom 3-peat. Appreciate you, Alexis. 3-peat. It's right there, Mike. It's right. They just got to reach out and grab it. Like the ever elusive 3-peat that no one's ever done in the history of the NFL. It's just right there, man.
Dude, it's right within our grasp. Like you can't look ahead. That's 100%. Like the Chiefs, you can't get caught looking ahead, and I honestly don't believe that. Like if you think Buffalo's a trap game, you're out of your mind. So I don't think they're actually doing that. But to be this close, sometimes, and this is what I'm scared of. Sometimes just the immense pressure of the situation can cause guys that aren't there or aren't equipped for it. And we don't have a lot of those guys on this team, but there's a few that's not even won the championship or been in this situation before, right? They've never even been to an AFC championship game. There's a few. Now, I want to say like a D-Hop or something like that. I don't think he's going to cave under pressure. I don't feel that, but there's just a lot of immense pressure here. So, like, we felt it. Again, we'll use, like, UK basketball. Remember when a few years ago we had the Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns team? They were just trashing people.
That was several years ago. We're old now.
Right, I get it. But you were about to get a full, like, undefeated basketball season. Like, they were super close, and they lost in the Final Four versus a Wisconsin team that should have been destroyed, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But they fell short because the pressure kind of got to them, and it just didn't feel like it was syncing up right that game. And then the later the clock got, and the ticking of the clock, that worked against them. And then you just felt all this pressure building up. And so if it's close at the end and the Chiefs are down just a little bit, like I feel like you get that little bit of extra pressure. And I'm not saying Mahomes can't withstand that and Andy Reid can't withstand that, but it's just some added stuff that – other teams don't have to deal with. You're not dealing with it. You're not dealing with greatness like we are.
It's true, man. That's a real thing. Real quick, before we move on in the chat, just want to shout out everybody, say thanks for being here. Welcome in. Good morning, Chiefs Kingdom. It's Red Friday, FC Championship Game Week. If you're rolling in late, we're just talking about Xavier Worthy being an X factor in this game. He could wreck the Bills' defense. We saw it. We've talked about some other people that had big games like Noah Gray. But yeah, lots to talk about, and appreciate you all being here. There's almost 2,000 people watching right now, which majority is X because YouTube's been slacking this year. YouTube's been getting their ass whooped by X, Mike. Belt to ass.
It's been, yeah.
But yeah, if you're watching on X, we appreciate you. Share it out with your followers. Also, if you want, you could come over to YouTube, subscribe. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers, and you could do that. That'd be cool. But yeah, Mike, Flapjack with the 5 bomb says we shouldn't forget Buffalo fans were throwing snowballs at Mahomes running through the tunnel. We need to break the sound record Sunday night again. I think the crowd could be a big factor in this game too. And I know that Buffalo's used to coming in Arrowhead and it being a loud crowd stuff, but like you said, man, in a higher pressure, like a higher pressure situation, if the Chiefs offense can come out and perform well and the crowd gets into it and it's just insane, Josh Allen could buckle. He could buckle. And like, wouldn't that be the most glorious thing ever? If Josh Allen for one time didn't play like Superman against the Chiefs and he just buckled.
Who's the pressure on more? Chiefs or Bills, in your opinion?
The
Is
Bills.
it the pressure on the Bills to finally get over the hump?
Yes.
And Josh Allen to win when it
A
counts?
lot of people would probably say it's
do you
the
say
pressure on the
pressure's
Chiefs.
on the Chiefs to try to hit that three-peat?
A lot of people could say that, but I don't think that's it, man. I think the pressure's on Buffalo here. Josh Allen notoriously cannot beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. He can't beat the Chiefs. That's all they've heard. And now this season, where they're getting their asses kissed, Josh Allen's the greatest quarterback of all time. He's the MVP. This Bills team's unstoppable. Everybody's picking the Bills. The pressure's on the Bills. Yeah, go to Arrowhead in a playoff game. You're going to have to play a near perfect game. That's all I got to say. Flapjack with another 2 says, I already paid the refs, so we good. Good job, Flapjack. I'm glad you got on that early. Somebody had to do it. If not you, we would have been right there, right, Mike? I think we started a GoFundMe to get them refs paid this week.
Yeah, we had to do something. You had to step it up a notch.
Casey Lion Squad with a 2 says Watson Island allows for more pressure up front. Exactly. And also we got Charles Omenihu back that we didn't have last time. So it kind of works both ways. So I just think this defense is in a different place than it was when they allowed 30 points to the Bills in the regular season. So it could be a much different outcome. Space with the gifted membership. We appreciate you, Space. Appreciate that. If y'all get that membership, make sure to thank him in the chat. Also, I've seen a lot of people talking about having trouble buying memberships or gifting memberships on our channel. I have no freaking idea why. It's just, I never thought shadow banning was a real thing, but as much as YouTube F's with our channel, I'm starting to wonder if they just don't like the horn mentality.
It's kind of weird.
Is that what it is? Are we a little too horned for YouTube, Mike?
Right.
What do you think?
A lot of the stuff's coming from people with iPhones. So maybe it's an Apple iPhone iOS thing. We're gonna have to try to dig into it because it really is annoying. Like Steve said, it's one thing after another over here.
It is.
People wonder why you can't grow, and it's like
he's struggling with it.
Yeah. I mean, we're growing. Yeah, you're growing. It's not
Chief and Rick with the 10 bomb says, let them double Travis and D Hop and Pepper our speedy wide receivers and let Kareem eat. That's right where I'm at, Chief and Rick. That's right where I'm at. And that's why we kind of brought this whole Xavier Worthy thing into the spotlight today, because I think they're going to have to focus on Travis and D Hop. I mean, what kind of slapnut defensive coordinator would go in to play the Chiefs right now and not be like, we really have to focus on D-Hop and Travis Kelce? Because if you don't, you're a dumbass, right? Like, straight up.
That's the beauty about this team, though, Steve. Is you focus on them, and it's like, okay, well, Marquise Brown can beat you.
Mike,
Xavier Worthy can beat you.
Most well-built Chiefs team that Patrick Mahomes has ever had. There are so many toys for him to play with. We went from last season to where we had MV ass on the team trying to be our wide receiver 1 to this year. It's like, damn, what are they going to do? Who are you going to cover? It's crazy. It's totally different. I almost think Patrick Mahomes was shell-shocked by that this year. It's like he had too much stuff, too many things to worry about, too many guys to look at. He didn't even know what to do with it because he's so used to, having to find Albert Wilsons of the world or the DeMarcus Robinsons or the freaking MVS. Is he's always had to make do. Justin Watson. And now he's just got this plethora of ridiculously good and fast wide receivers. So I don't know, but I like that idea, Chief and Rick. Bryant Williamson with a 2 bomb says a ref will be banging the drum for the opener. Yeah, I think who's ref in the game? Is it Cleety Blakeman? Is that what his name is? Cletus. We don't have the best record with Cletus.
Cleet Blakeman.
I think the league's trying to rig this game for the Bills because Cleet Blakeman, we don't win a whole lot of games with him as the referee, and he also no one wins hardly at home with Cleet Blakeman. They're trying to rig it for the Bills, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but they're trying to rig it for him. I'm just kidding. We're not as stupid as Bills fans. But we can use that card if we have to. Chiefs fan 69 with a 2 bomb says ready to see this defense bury Josh Allen. Absolutely. I want to see tons of pressure on them. I want to see him break. I just want to see the Chiefs put a lot of points on the board, get him in a tight spot, get the crowd alive, and this defense just go crazy on him. It would be awesome to watch. Kevin Anderson with the 2 bombs says, I think Arrowhead and the fans will be a factor 100%. I think that they will be. And the way to get that crowd to be a factor is to come out hot and to put a lot of points on the board. Get a little bit of a lead, get a little bit of comfort there. I think I would love it. I would love it. And I don't ever expect it against the Bills. Definitely not an AFC Championship game. But wouldn't you just like to have one of those? We get them once a year, maybe twice, where you can just kind of like relax. Like, whew.
Yeah.
Chiefs are up by 14 points. And I'm
would.
feeling good. Things
Steve,
are going our way.
You talked about Blakeman, and this is the thing. Like, this could either be a disaster for the Chiefs,
I told
or it could
you.
just be a disaster for Chiefs derangement syndrome havers. Because, like, Blakeman's crew, I'm reading a stat. His crew that he
they
brings
call a lot
with
of
him,
pass. They call a lot of the
they
roughing the
called
passers.
the most penalties per game in the NFL in 2024 with an average of 15.8. These dudes are throwing 16 flags per game, dude. So how many of those feasibly are going to go against Buffalo that people are going to cry about? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you're throwing 16, even if it's a dead even split at 8, that's 8 opportunities for everybody to just cry their eyes out over here.
Right.
But you know what? The bad thing about Clete Blakeman, the last time Blakeman was our official was the Raiders game Christmas Day last year. And we all know how that ended. But let me tell you something. That had nothing to do with officials. That was
Absolutely
all our
not.
team just taking a nap.
Just sucking.
Didn't want to be there. So I'm not worried about Blakeman and the calls. I think at the end of the day, there's 16 flags per game. Those flag-happy officials he brings with him, this could almost be ripe for just a cry fest. And, I mean, what's going to be more funny to hear him cry again for 2 more weeks?
I love it. I would love nothing more.
I'm actually a little bit tired of, like, having this same conversation every day, defending this conversation every day. Like, the officials and the refs thing, it's
They're
just
going to find
so
something
old.
to cry about regardless.
Yeah,
but either
it's
way,
so old.
I think the Chiefs have all the
ridiculous.
motivation in the world to come out and just absolutely spank this team. Like, this would be a game where you would want to go make a statement to the world. I mean, the planet's watching. Everybody's watching. They
And
all
Steve,
think
you
you're
mentioned
cheaters. They
30
all think you
points.
get calls. Just blow them out.
You mentioned the magical 30-point. We didn't hit 30 all year long. We hit it one
No.
game. We hit it once. We hit 30.
Not all.
It took-
We didn't do it all year long. Just once.
Well, it took overtime. We didn't do it in regulation. That was my thing.
I got
It
you.
took
I got you.
extra time versus the Bucks. We hit 30 on the nose. So
Yeah.
this team has to go out and put up some points, in my
Absolutely.
opinion. Like, the offense, it's time for the offense to, like, let's move.
KC Lion Squad with the 2 bombs says Juju may find pay dirt. I'm so ready for this game. It's funny, Mike, we haven't even had to mention Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's not chopped liver. He's not what he used to be. But he's still a decent receiver that can pop off. I mean, he had a one game where he went for like 125 yards or something crazy. Like, Juju
Right.
can play. There's just so many little toys for Patrick Mahomes. It's a beautiful thing. Appreciate you guys being here this morning. Good morning. Chiefs Kingdom
Good
should be
morning.
extra horned, baby, because it's Red Friday on an AFC Championship game weekend, playing the Buffalo Bills at Arrowhead.
Moves.
Oh, Buffalo. If you want to beat a team to go to the Super Bowl, it's Buffalo, because they're the only team that beat you this year. They have the world's worst fans outside of Cincinnati, and it would just be a beautiful thing, and that's what we want. That's what we want, Mike. Appreciate y'all being here. Like I said, we got 2,600 across 3 platforms right now. Let's see if we can push that across 3,000 watching all chiefed up this morning. Let's see if we can push that across 3,000. So share this on whatever platform you're watching on. Also hit the like button for us, stuff like that. Help your boys out. Things like that, bub. Do it, Mike. We're gonna show an ad. We're gonna take a 1-minute break. Do us a favor, stick around. We got much more to talk about. We'll get back to the chat as well, and we'll be right back.
Today's show is sponsored by Manta Sleep Mask. You got to check this out. We weren't big believers in sleep masks. I thought they were going to be too big, too hot, too bulky, but Manta Sleep Mask changed that perception for me. These sleep masks are so comfortable. You can change the cup around your eye and find a custom fit. That way, the mask finds your comfortability. With these pillows around your eyes, you feel zero pressure. And with a 100% blackout technology, you can go to sleep anytime, day or night, no matter how erratic your sleep schedule is. You can go with the sound mask, the pro mask, the silk mask, or just the sleep mask. You should go check out their website by clicking the link we have provided for you in the description below and read up on which option sounds best for you. But regardless of which mask you choose, use our code ACU10 at checkout and receive a 10% discount that we have secured through Manta Sleep for you, Chiefs Kingdom. Again, go to the description, find the link, find the mask you want to try out, use code ACU10 and get yourself some of the best sleep you've ever had in preparation of this long football season.
Do it to it. Get down in the description. Check out Manta Sleep. Those things are awesome. You can have some nice little naps with those bad boys. And it don't matter what time it is during the day. There can be sunlight or anything. It doesn't matter. You can take a nice little nap.
Just go look at the sun and take a nap. How about that? Soak up some vitamin D.
Flapjack with the 2 bomb says DJ starting left tackle, calling it. Let's hope not. Have they even mentioned that? Have they talked about that? Here's my reasoning. First of all, I still think the best formula. Get that big pencil out, Michael.
You know what that's doing?
What?
That's a ship, and it's sailed. That's not happening.
I don't think so. It's just wild. I have 2 reasons why. First of all, I think it's the best lineup is with Joe Tooney at left tackle. It's just been proven to be. Patrick Mahomes is more comfortable, and like Travis Kelce said, they've already solved that puzzle. So why would they go messing with the pieces if they already solved it? And on top of that, Mike, it's kind of like just one of those things, like baseball players. They want to wear the same underwear every game. Or they don't want to change their socks because things are good. You just don't mess with the juju.
Mahomes has something like that. So, I mean.
Yeah, you just don't.
They're not doing it.
You don't mess with what's working.
That ship sailed. I think that talking point was thrown out the window weeks ago. It was debunked. It was completely debunked across the board. I don't know why anybody brought that up. Respect.
Yeah, Flapjack. Flapjack's just stirring the pot here.
Yeah,
I can see him right now.
That was just it was a bad talking point. It was a weird talking point. Andy Reid chose the side of goodness, he was on our side, and we prevailed.
And the Chiefs prevailed. Kevin Anderson with the freaking 10 bomb says, yesterday I had a thought that it's so crazy the last 5 to 7 years have led to this moment to go for the three-peat. I'm absolutely pumped for the moment and the pressure. The world is against us. Mike, we used to have a shirt on our store, and it's been archived now. It's not there. Maybe I should bring it back.
People have called it out all week and wanted it back.
But, they didn't want to buy it before they realized it was happening. We were ahead of the game. We were ahead of the curve.
We were talking about being the villains last Super Bowl.
Well, it was before that.
The last Super Bowl, we were talking about being the villains. And it's now been a full year, and people are finally catching on that we're the villains.
Might have to bring it back. It's just Chiefs versus the world. I mean, everybody's against the Chiefs right now, except for Chiefs fans.
What should you put on the bag? Should you put a big middle finger on it?
It said they hate us because they ain't us, is what that shirt said.
I mean, that's true.
And it had the nice little arrowhead with the skull in it, like the Grim Reaper shirt. It was a nice little shirt.
Chiefs versus the world. I think people would like that.
I have to bring it back. That's what it said, bro.
Oh, it said that. Okay, I just thought you named it that, but then it just said they hate us. Okay, I got you.
No, that was on there too. It just had a lot of stuff on that shirt, It was a whole book.
Wrote a novel. Passing somebody on the street, you have to stop and give them a few seconds to read, huh?
Appreciate the 10, Kevin. But yeah, Mike, I guess we could get into some game predictions.
Before we do game predictions, though, can I play this clip? I want your thoughts on this, Steve.
You can play whatever clip you want. You go right ahead.
I want to get your thoughts. Here we go.
Quarterback run comes into that, so I'm snapping to him. Like he's gonna go, he's gonna do his thing. Anytime
Schlereth sucks.
In the red zone, that's part of their run game. Yeah. Quarterback counter, quarterback power, and then he's big enough to run dudes over. Yes, it's gonna be Josh Allen. We're gonna be calling it Allenhead after this week. Do you guys think it is like?
Well, they're effed.
Hey, you had three.
You didn't learn nothing from the Bengals?
3 dudes who are, and don't get me wrong, I'm pushing old age too. I'm there. Okay. But you
Me
just got
too,
three
brother.
out of touch dudes who literally come up with Allen head and acted as if they cooked something just out of the blue that was just amazing. Like the fake laughs and all. Ridiculous. Like how stupid do you have to be? Like it's not even funny. It wasn't even funny the first time.
Let's talk about this for a second. Schlereth is a notorious Chiefs
Yeah,
hater.
he's a donkey.
He's been on X all week just making an ass of himself, trying to hate on the Chiefs. And we all know he hates the Chiefs, not because he was a Bronco, but because Travis Kelce banged his daughter. And that's what it is. He hates Travis Kelce. He hates this Chiefs team because Travis Kelce hit it and quit it on the Schlereth dog.
On live TV.
On live television in front of the world. In front of Jesus and everybody. Travis Kelce did that to his daughter. Do you think he's ever going to say a nice thing about this Chiefs team? It's just not going to happen.
Kelce's about to hit it and quit it this weekend against Buffalo, too. So that's going to be on live TV as well. And then the bald dude. I mean, come on. I don't even know his name, and I don't even care to know it.
Nah, that
what
guy,
is
I don't
this
know
show?
who
I
he
haven't
is,
even
but he
heard of
seems
this
pretty
show.
stupid.
I think our show has more viewers than that trash.
Probably.
But my whole point
Speaking
is
of,
this.
Mike, we're over the
Why do you keep
3,000
having to do
mark
this
now,
Burrowhead crap and Allen head? Like, just because we beat everybody, do we call ours Mahomes Park next time we go to Buffalo? Like,
That's
what
so
do you do?
stupid. It's
so
just dumb and
stupid.
cringy. We don't do that type of thing.
That's
We don't do
loser
that.
mentality. These dudes are
A
losers.
show
They
that
thought it
calls
was
every,
funny. It
a show
wasn't.
that talks about everything being horny never would do a cringy thing. Okay, we would never.
No, stay horny.
Ever.
Don't do nothing repulsive that scares away the chicks.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't offend people. It's offensive, Mike. 3,100 in the house. Appreciate you guys. A little round of applause for you guys
Preach.
hanging out with All Chiefed Up today.
We're gonna do.
But why wouldn't you be?
3,000 claps. Let's go.
Chiefs Kingdom's out in full force today for the first time in a long time.
Get it together. Yeah,
About
I'm glad
damn
you're getting
time.
it together. I'm glad you're
The
getting
Chiefs,
it together.
the Chiefs have had so much success that the world hates us, and our fans don't even care about football until the AFC Championship game. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's football season."
Who's Static X? Static X says this is my first time here. Dude on the
Hey,
right. I
let's
guess
go,
that's
baby.
Steve, right? Dude on the right looks just like the Secret Castle and Toy Store guy. Who's the Secret Castle and Toy Store guy? I don't know who that is.
I'm
We gotta look it up.
afraid, man. I'm afraid. People
afraid
call
to
me
look it
some
up, too.
weird things.
Some guy last week, Steve, said you look like Josh Allen with penis deformity.
Testicle
or something.
cancer or something.
What does that
Well,
even mean?
Little does he know.
Who looks at Josh Allen's penis enough to
How
know
does
that
he
you
know I
look
don't
like
have a
it?
Chris Jones situation going on here? How can you tell? You can only see me from the waist up.
Right, from the waist down, you're not even wearing pants.
Yeah, I never do. Just in case y'all
Why
thought I
would you?
did, I don't. I'd never wear pants or underwear. Just completely free ball it here
I've gotta
every
look it
time.
up. I'm looking up the Secret Castle and Toy Store guy while you take this next comment.
Yeah, do it. Do it. What comment we got here? Oh, we have a freaking 20 bomb from SSG Minotaur. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you. I'll show him some love in the chat. Put a little legendaries in the chat for Minotaur. He says we need to not be overly analytical with our boys. The final year before we drafted Mahomes, we lost in the playoffs to the Steelers while scoring multiple touchdowns and allowing none. Now look at us. It's true. It's true. What a game to bring up, though, Minotaur. I hated that game. Travis Kelce hated Carl Cheffers that game. Was that not the game where we had the 2-point conversion to tie the game to Demetrius Harris, and they called holding on Fish?
Yeah, but we get all the calls. We've always
Yeah.
gotten all the calls.
It was a questionable hold, too. It looked like, I think it was Harrison was falling down. It wasn't even a real hold, I don't think. It might have been, but just because we can be like everybody else, the rest were wrong. They were wrong. Hey, shout out Minotaur for that 20 bomb, baby. Appreciate the support.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate all you guys for the support. All you guys donating. You guys are doing the Lord's work, helping this channel stay afloat. You guys hit the like button, sharing this out with your friends, helping us grow. We appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Chiefs Kingdom rules, man. It's our time of the year, too. It's our time of the year. Mike, we've been in the dumps for several years, so this last 5 to 7 years, we shouldn't feel sorry for it. If people have Chiefs derangement syndrome, suck it. Who cares? If you're tired of seeing the Chiefs win, suck it. Who cares? If you just hate the Chiefs, suck it. Who cares? We're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
why
it's
not?
our time, okay? It's our time.
I feel you. I feel you. I'm ready to roll. I ain't worried about
I
it.
forgot what you were
apologize to
doing.
nobody.
I forgot what you were doing. You
I'm
looking for
finding
my
your guy.
lookalike?
Yeah, I'm
Looking for
finding
my
your guy.
doppelganger?
I'm trying to pull in the image now. I'm just gonna say it's a little questionable in my opinion. It's a little questionable.
Is it? Oh, you have it.
I do have it. I'm trying to pull it in for you right now, but
Yeah, right.
it's a little
the
questionable.
one that I normally get from people. I've been called some weird things. I think we talked about how someone told
Josh
me
Allen's
yeah,
testicles.
someone told me I looked like an old
weird.
Ryan Gosling, which is ridiculous. I'm
not
not
repeat
Ken
that
from
one.
Barbie. But the one that I get the most, and it's actually come from several different people, and I don't know why either because it's not true. It's Pablo Schreiber. I hear it over and over and over again. He's a guy that was a porn stash, and Orange is the New Black. He was freaking the guy in Halo.
I actually never watched that show. I heard that was pretty good though. Okay, I found that. I brought it in. Look, this is just going to be a shameless plug. I think he's just wanting us to give a shameless plug to the toy store, but here it is. I'm guessing it's the guy on the left. It's probably not the guy on the right, so I'm guessing it's the cat on the left who's going to be at the 2024 Southeast Game Exchange in Greenville, South Carolina, July 6th through 7th.
That's a good-looking man right there.
It's the
hey,
I think-
shout out that Moonlight Barbecue shirt. That's Kentucky, baby.
Yeah, that's
Owensboro, Kentucky. What about it?
The beard and maybe the hat, I could see.
Hey, that's a good-looking man. He's not as good-looking as me, but he's right there. It's right there. I could see.
Hey, shout out Moonlight Barbecue from Owensboro. You could have been sponsoring this. We could have told everybody to go to lunch there, but you didn't do it.
But you didn't do it.
And it's almost lunchtime. So, Steve, let's get to our predictions, man. This
do
is
it,
the
baby.
last time Chiefs Kingdom's going to see us before Sunday night. Let's get horned up. Throw your
Let's
predictions
go.
in the chat. Throw them in the chat. I want all of them. Everybody throw them in now. Let's go. Steve,
get
you
them
wanna
predictions
go first?
in.
You're up first. Let's
Hell
go.
yeah, baby. You know, all year, you know, we don't do the go big thing anymore because the Chiefs never win big, right?
Right. It makes you sad.
So we're not going too crazy with it. But I think this is a game where the Chiefs can get that offense a humming. I think they can get it going early. The Bills' defense is suspect. The Bills' defense has some cracks in it. The Bills' defense has some guys that not even playing this week, Taylor Rapp. I think the Chiefs score over 30. I think this is it. I've got this vision of 21, 24 points going into halftime. I just do. And it might sound crazy because of how the Chiefs have been this year, but I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go 34-24 Chiefs, baby. And I don't think it's going to be one of those games where it's like, oh, no. It's so close in the fourth quarter. I think the Chiefs might glide to that dub. I think they might get a garbage time touchdown to make it look like it was closer than it actually was.
Right.
I'm going 34-24. Chiefs, I think, player of the game is going to be Patrick Mahomes. Why? Because he's going to utilize those receivers. He's going to utilize them. I think you're going to see a lot of touchdowns from them receivers. I'm going to go 300-plus yards and 3 tutties for Patrick Mahomes.
Dang.
Let's go, baby.
I wrote it down because I didn't want you to think I copied you.
Okay.
Chiefs
Woohoo.
31, Bills 24. MVP Petty / Turtleneck Pat.
If he pulls out the turtleneck, bro, it's
He
over.
had it last week. He had it last week. Steve.
I know,
It didn't
I
really
know.
rip like we thought it would. But
It
this week
still worked,
ripped.
though, didn't it?
31-24. We beat the magical 30 mark. Buffalo puts up a late time garbage score. But it's going to be like 31 to like 17 for the longest time or something like that. It's going to be like 31-14 for the longest time.
I think Kareem Hunt's going to have a nice little time.
Petty Pat with the 3-touchdown game. I actually think Kelsey gets in the end zone. I'm going to give one to Xavier Worthy. And then either D-Hop or Hollywood's getting in this week. I don't know which one it is. Actually, I'm going to throw Noah Gray in there, too. It's one of those three. You got a little carousel of happiness there. But, Steve, I'm with you. I think it's got to be more Kareem Hunt than we've seen. Kareem Hunt needs
If he
15
better have a
carries.
damn carry in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Andy
He needs
Reid,
15.
if you're watching, just
you're
real quick, Mike, and I'll let you get back to your
Andy Reid in
talking
the
point.
chat. I see him right there. Andy's here.
Andy, I swear to God, if you don't give Kareem Hunt the ball in the first quarter of this game, what the hell are you doing? If you don't do that, I hope you don't get another cheeseburger ever. ever.
Whoa. Don't take the man's cheeseburgers.
Well, come on, bro. What are you doing?
That's a low blow.
Is it, though? I think it was a low blow not giving Kareem Hunt a carry in the first quarter.
Kareem Hunt needs 15 carries plus this game, and Pacheco can still have 10 carries plus. We need 25 carries from running backs this game, and that is going to allow Patrick Mahomes to eat. You cannot let a bad secondary not have to come up and be worse by worrying about playing some run defense too. You can't do it. You can't keep letting them drop. You can't keep doing it. Hold them honest. Keep the linebackers, keep the safeties, keep everybody in the box because they're scared to death that Kareem Hunt's going to beat you to death, and then you're gonna win it over the top. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get that X Factor TD Steve.
Mike Yo Ways with the 2-bomb. He says Romo is on Allen's nuts big time. He's swinging on him.
Yeah, he's swinging on
Actually, I think the swing on Josh Allen's, it'd probably be more like a,
Is it
just pinch it and then you just.
Now, if it's Chris Jones,
More of a ding than a dong, isn't it?
you're hanging on for dear life. You're just like, whoa, pull them out. Let's go.
Appreciate the
Steve,
2-bomb.
I'm ready
Appreciate
for this
the 2-bomb.
game. Ready for the game.
Hell
Appreciate
yeah,
you,
dude.
Mike. Appreciate you, Mike. But Romo, he'll hang on everybody's dong. Like, that's what he does. Romo's a dong chaser.
What if they put Tony Romo and Chris Collinsworth together and Romo was swinging on Josh Allen's nuts and Collinsworth was swinging on Patrick Mahomes? Who would swing harder?
It'd be like a John Anderson video. Just a swing.
What do you
I
think
don't
would
even know.
happen there? You know what we should do? You know what everybody should do? Just mute that TV and play Mitch Holthus and them calling the game. Don't listen to Tony Romo.
Is Tony Romo calling?
I don't know. I don't know.
We get Romo and Jim Nance for every freaking game, dude.
I don't know, Jim.
Jim.
Well, I'll tell you what they're going to do here, Jim. Like, we don't need
I don't
that.
care what they're going to do, Tony. Let us watch the game. Shut up.
Yeah, quit trying to sound smart. We know you played in the NFL. We know. It's okay.
No, it's cool. Everybody else played in the NFL too, and they suck. Like, listen to their commentary.
Hell yeah. Hey,
Here's
shout
what
out
it is.
Chiefs Kingdom. Shout out Chiefs Kingdom. 37 hundo people watching all chiefed up on Red Friday morning. That's a good number, guys. We appreciate that. We appreciate that a lot. Do us a favor. Like the video. If you're not on YouTube, there's a lot of people watching on X right now. Shout out you guys. But get over to YouTube and subscribe and hang out on YouTube as well. It's a nice
for
time.
sure.
It's a nice time.
YouTube's the way. Steve, it is official. Jim Nance and Tony Romo will be announcing Chiefs versus Bills AFC.
Oh, we're listening to Mitch. We're listening to Mitch. Flapjack with the 2. Says
Go.
42-17. Mike, wouldn't that be nice?
I would love it.
Wouldn't that be something?
Look, if the score's 42-17, Flapjack, I will personally send Slapjack a
You don't even have nothing together, Mike.
I'll send you a $500 check that says King of the Big Ding King. That's what I'll say. I'll make it out to the Big Ding King himself.
$500 to Flapjack if it's
500 smacks
42-17.
if it goes
I hope you have to pay
42-17.
Flapjack $500 because that'd
I
be
will gladly play $500 to see a 42-17 win.
that'd be nice. Mike, you could have said like $250 or something.
Not worried about it.
$500
I'll
though.
go 500.
Damn.
But what Flapjack can't see is that there's a little bitty, like, you know, those little small print, and it says you actually get paid $2.99 per week for 27 years.
Get like the Bobby Bonilla contract.
You get like the Price is Right prizes, you know, like when you win and you get it spread out through your entire life.
Dude, 42-17 though. I could roll with that. I could roll with that. Shout out Renee becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate you. Thanks for all your support. I've seen you around for a while. It's nice to have you in the ACU crew. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Appreciate you.
KC Lion Squad with the 2-bomb says it would be nice to see P. Ryan get more involved.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to
P.
that.
Ryan's a very good change of pace third down back. Like he can come in and switch things up a little bit. Well, it kind of changed the pace up with Pacheco. Ideally, I would love to see Kareem Hunt get the bulk of the carries. Then you put Pacheco in, who's just going to run it down your throat. Change it up a little bit. And then P. Ryan come in on them third downs, leak out of the backfield, make some catches, protect Patrick Mahomes,
P. Ryan is
very Jerick McKinnon-esque type
this is
role.
very I honestly don't want to see P. Ryan play a lot because I don't want to be in a lot of third down situations.
Yeah,
So
we don't
I'm
even
kind of
need
pulling
him.
for P. Ryan to be just invisible. I want to always convert on first or second down. Let's not even get to third down situations. But I understand what you're saying, Line Squad. And yes, I do think P. Ryan needs to be more involved. I think P. Ryan is a nice little weapon there in the screen game, pass game. And he's done a good job this year. He's seamlessly got in. At first he struggled a little bit, but he's back. Struggling.
Right. Oh, my bad. Chief and Rick with the 2 bomb says everyone's giving Josh the Gok tour.
Hawk Tua disappeared after she rug pulled everybody on that
Hey, Mike, they are,
meme
Mike.
coin.
You know what? Everybody that's not a Chiefs fan, literally the entire planet is out there just getting horned up over Josh Allen, bro. Just insane. They're calling him Bonersaurus, I think.
Don't Bonersaurus. We don't need
I thought about it. Renee has been a member for 3 months. So it says a new member, but she's been a member for 3 months. We'll take it. Manifesting the win. Let's go, Renee. Let's freaking go. Man, Mike, it's going to be a fun one this weekend. The Chiefs are in a great position. Mike, our boy Steve-O's in the house, and I think he's conducting something.
He is.
I can hear it coming around the corner.
Oh, I hear it.
Our boy Steve-O doing the Lord's work with the 5 gifted memberships. Let's go, Steve-O.
Maybe we should ask
Go, baby.
Steve-O. Maybe we should ask Steve-O how he's doing it. Steve-O, are you doing this on an iPhone? Or are you doing this on a desktop? Are you doing this on a
He's an Android
Galaxy?
man.
Yeah, like let us know because
Steve-O's got a damn Samsung.
so far the only people having trouble is the iPhone users, is what we've learned. So if we can narrow this down, maybe we can fix it.
Yeah,
Appreciate you,
we're
brother.
investigating. Hey, shout out Steve-O though. Steve-O's a long time ACU crew member. Been around for a long time since the beginning. Always supporting. So shout out Steve-O. Y'all put some legendaries in the chat. Because Stephen James is a damn legend, ladies and gentlemen.
Legendary. Steve-O, did you ever
Let's
get your
go.
picture I sent you? He won a nice print, a little Chiefs print. I sent that out a month ago. So post office is probably dancing on it, probably breaking it over stuff. Who knows what they're doing? Let's hope they got it to
Right.
you.
Rich giving out some valuable information here for those of you that don't want to hear Tony Romo swing on Josh Allen's testicles the entire game. You can find the local Chiefs radio broadcasts around the area in the entire Midwest on AM or FM usually.
There you go. I also think Chiefs.com, if you just log onto there, they've got a radio stream. At least they used to. Maybe even 810 or one of them probably do it as well. I mean, I don't know, but it's very possible.
Mike, I don't think that's it. I don't think it's it. Becky Pigtail says, I'm Android and I've had issues for months. I think YouTube just hates
Becky,
us
you're
a little
running
bit.
live because I don't know what to do now.
YouTube just hates us a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
YouTube can just flat out suck it. That's all. I mean, I try to be nice, but at this point, Steve, you're right. There has to be something going on here.
It is.
They want to see all Chiefed Up fail, and they want to shadow ban. They want to do whatever they want to do. They want to act like that doesn't exist. It totally exists. We're watching it in real time. Okay, I don't care. We're not letting the terrorist win.
Fix it.
Fix it.
Hey, Mike, you know, you spoke of something that everybody needs. Everybody needs it. The Buffalo Bills need it. Buffalo Bills fans. Hell, if you're not a Chiefs fan, if you're a member of the mainstream media that's picking the Bills to win, if you're out there calling it Allenhead or whatever they called it, if Travis Kelce is hit and quit your daughter, if you think the referees are the reason why the Chiefs are good, I mean, whoever you are, this is for you.
Suck it! Suck it! They got 2 words for you! Suck it!
Chris Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Chris freaking Jones. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us this morning. Big game. Big freaking game. And we'll be here post-game. Come celebrate with all Chiefed Up. Just do it. We'll be on all the platforms. So
All
whatever
platforms.
you're watching on, we appreciate you.
Hopefully.
All you guys that donated today, you guys are freaking amazing. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. And do us a favor. Hit that like button on the way out if you have not done that already. That way a lot of people can watch the replay. They'll have all day to have their Chiefs fun. Some people aren't as ballsy as the rest of you, and they actually try to do work when they're at work. you know? And I think that's crazy. That's wild to me. Like, you could at least put us in an earbud or something and act like you're working.
Yeah, bub.
You know, for sure. P Water, new member, snuck it in on me at the end here.
Appreciate you.
Mike got them sunglasses on because the future's so bright for the Kansas City Chiefs.
It is so bright, I'm starting to get a headache.
A little migraine or something.
A little migraine.
Shout out BetUS for powering the live stream. Also, shout out Man to Sleep for supporting your boys as well. Get down in the description. Check those guys out. And we'll be back post-game after the Chiefs spank the Buffalo Bills.
Just speak it into existence. Belt to ass.
Let's go.
There goes a sight from my soul.